Let's be honest, there's never a bad time to get complimented on your fragrance, and if you're rocking the right fragrance, it's almost like an open invitation. So when I say these are compliment magnets, believe me, because compliments might not be as elusive as you think. Today, I got 10 scents that aren't just good, these are next level good. I'm talking about the type of fragrances that make people chase you down and say, "Excuse me, sir, what are you wearing?" From fruity and fresh to bold and seductive, today's list has something for everyone. And no, I'm not paid by any of these brands. These are just legit picks and proven head turners, guaranteed to make you the guy that everyone notices, even if they don't mention it. So let's start with a fragrance that'll make you smell good enough to eat. Imagine biting into a perfectly ripe strawberry that's been dipped in golden amber. That's what you get with Commodi Juice. Now, it starts tart and juicy, but you also get this raspberry pulp with it. It just gives it this deeper, smoother edge to this fragrance until it transitions into something with amberwood and cyclamen. What makes this fragrance so special is its versatility. You can wear this one to brunch, you can wear it to the office, and you can even wear this one out on a date and it'll always get compliments. When wearing this fragrance, people have literally said, "You smell delicious," and I'm not sure who wouldn't want to hear that. I just gave this away as a gift for Christmas, so essentially, this one is the gift that gives compliments. Mancera's Amore Cafe is up next, and this one's for the coffee lovers out there. Amore Cafe smells like an Italian cafe dream. Picture steaming black coffee on top of vanilla ice cream with a pinch of brown sugar. It's warm, it's inviting, and it's perfect for those cooler nights. Not only does my wife love this one on me, but I also love it on her. To me, this one smells like a close encounter waiting to happen. This is the one you wear when you want to feel like someone's gourmand addiction. Wear this one for that cozy date night out, or just for those moments where you want it to be unforgettable. I promise I won't judge you, but I gotta know, have you ever wanted to smell like an unsolved mystery? But if you have, or at the very least you're now intrigued on what an unsolved mystery would smell like, then Jadu from Mind Games delivers that vibe. It opens with pomegranate and mandarin, it's sweet and it's juicy, and then it takes this mysterious vibe and transitions a bit with the leather and patchouli. It gives it a little bit of dramatic effect. I was in Neiman Marcus the other day and I ran across a few viewers of the channel, so shout out to the B gang, and while I was talking to one of them, he asked me to take him through a few personal recommendations for fragrances while we were out and about, and this is one of those fragrances he wanted and he was immediately hooked. I believe his name was Tristan and he was there with his wife, so shout out to the both of you if you're watching. Jadu is deep, it's bold, and it's magnetic. This is one for the guy out there who likes to be strategic in what he wears. This one's like the fragrance equivalent of a Grandmaster. Now, it's weird because they do have a fragrance named Grandmaster, and that's a totally different vibe, but I like that too. Wear this fragrance when you want people to think, who is this guy and where did he come from? Tell him it ain't Cotton Eye Joe. Tom Ford Ebon Fume is up next on this list, and it's another fragrance where there's multiple bottles of this within the household, and they really did a good job with this fragrance, and one of those scents that I say really sets the bar when it comes to the elevated fragrance style. Now, that said, I would say that this isn't a fragrance for everyone, but when it lands, and it lands a lot because, of course, it made it to the most complimented fragrance list. Ebon Fume blends Palo Santo wood and rose, really doubling down on this scent and creating a fragrance that's really known to be common, but it's undeniably sexy. This is perfect for those moments when you want to exude quiet luxury along with quiet confidence. This is the fragrance that does all the talking for you. Wear this one to an art gallery or an upscale dinner. This is a fragrance that when you wear it, people will say you smell intriguing, but they'll mean it in a good way. EXO Brandy from Nabitus Parfums is up next, and this one holds a special place in my heart. I mean, my heart. When I think of EXO Brandy, I look at this one like liquid luxury. It opens with a rich boozy note of brandy, and then you also get some almond before it transitions into this sandalwood and patchouli, which is smooth. And this one's also a seductive fragrance that's great for those special occasions. I've never met the guy, but EXO Brandy gives me Hugh Hefner vibes, as this one's made for that modern day playboy. Sidonie Lancaster was the nose behind this fragrance, and this one is definitely in the same vein of fragrances that she's popularized and has been known for. So if you're a fan of fragrances like Apple Brandy, Black Phantom, Old Fashioned, or Shy Guy from Parfum de Marly, then this is one of those fragrances you'll also enjoy. The dates are present here. It's sweet, but it's not cloying, and it also packs a hell of a punch when it comes to performance. This is for the guy who sips brandy in his velvet robe, even if he doesn't technically own one. When I think about this next fragrance, sweet, seductive, and utterly irresistible are words that immediately come to mind. And of course, I'm talking about a fragrance none other than Suspiro's Dolce Melodia, which is really all about blending those fruity top notes like mandarin along with spice like saffron atop a creamy vanilla base. To be fair now, if you're not into sweet fragrances, this one's going to be a pass for you. However, if you're into that sort of thing, then this is one of those fragrances that you are going to love. It's a super sensual fragrance, and it comes off as a scent that perfectly balances those floral notes that you would find here without being too feminine leaning. It's a fragrance that keeps people hooked, and despite some of the exotic notes and its price point, it does have a familiar Kool-Aid vibe. It's perfect for date nights or any of those moments when you need to be the center of attention. So I'm thinking Netflix and chill turned into Netflix and thrill. Moving on, we have a Clive Christian fragrance, and like most Clive Christian fragrances, this one is the epitome of sophistication. Blonde amber combines warm tobacco, dried fruits, and musk to really come together in a way that's really done well to create a fragrance that's elegant and rich. If you enjoy Angel Share, Grand Soir, Leighton, or Naxos, this is also a fragrance you'll likely enjoy. Now personally, I believe that this fragrance is a little more mature. Not that it smells old or anything, but the way the amber comes off in this fragrance comes off as a scent that's more for someone that is in their late 20s than someone that's in their late teens. Now, I believe that this fragrance is perfect for anyone that's 25 plus. You're going to be good for this one because you might have more experience in wearing this one to the office, etc. But if you're like 15 to 17 to 18 wearing this one to school, this is probably not going to be the one for you. This one wears a little heavier than some of the other fragrances out there, so I would say that this one's going to be good for that cold weather. Think fall and winter. This fragrance will really shine in those environments. Not that you couldn't wear it in the heat, but this one's truly going to shine in those cool or cold weather days. Hibiscus Mahajai is up next on this list, and if you've been tuned into the videos, this one shouldn't come off as a surprise. In leadership, it said that behavior that gets rewarded is behavior that gets repeated, and to that point, it's almost time for a new bottle. I have a bottle, my wife has a bottle, and I've purchased this fragrance for a number of people as gifts, and even the people that I've recommended this fragrance to, especially in the real world, have given me tons of positive feedback with it. It features hibiscus, rose, and vanilla. It's sweet, it's floral, and it's just a tad bit spicy. It's perfect for daytime events or anytime you want to feel vibrant or unique. Compliments are almost guaranteed with this one. Now, this one is heavy in floral, so if you're a blue-collar worker, I would understand why you wouldn't want to wear this one to work. However, this one could be the difference maker if you're looking to impress that PYT back at the office. It just feels like a fiery scent, and it's certainly one that could spark up a conversation. Next, we're going in for a showstopper, and of course, we're talking about Kilian's Angel Share. As you can tell, I am already out of this bottle. I'm halfway through the second bottle here, which means it's time for a third bottle. Honestly, I want to stop wearing this fragrance, but there's just something about it that just keeps pulling me back in. One, it smells good, and two, those compliments, well, they do the trick too. Angel Share features cognac, oak wood, and praline, and it just smells like a boozy dessert. It's rich, it's indulgent, and let me tell you, this one is a certified crowd pleaser. I've literally had people pass me in the hallway and chase me down to ask what am I wearing because they wanted it for themselves or for their husbands or for their wives. This fragrance really just hits all marks. Now, I've said this in the past, depending on who wears this fragrance, it just changes and gives off a different vibe. When my wife wears this fragrance, it smells slightly different on her than it does on me. And I think if you're a man or a woman, this fragrance will really work in either occasion and be one of the rare fragrances on this list where it's shareable within the household. Fragrance prices continue to go up, and because of that, it's a little bit more difficult to have separate fragrance collections. This is one of those, if you were adding it in for you and your missus to split, I think you would go great with this one on either way. Now, keeping price in mind, there are a ton of clones of Angel Share out there on the market. So it's really something out there for everyone at its price point. You can get a similar vibe. However, what I will say is that if you do have the money to get the real deal, then I would say go ahead and do that because, you know, it's nothing quite like the OG and it's almost like a rite of passage. Now, again, don't blow your bank trying to do it. If you can't afford it, there's a ton of clones out there that smell great and have similar vibes to Angel Share, and some even perform a little bit better. Obviously, I have this channel, so it's not in my nature to gatekeep, but if I did, this one would be one of those scents I would gatekeep. This fragrance is for the guy out there that's sweet to his lady, but he's dangerous enough to keep things interesting, and she likes that. Louis Vuitton Lovers is up next, and this fragrance has been a game changer for me, especially given the amount of times I wear the other fragrances that have been on our list today. As you can see, I put quite a dent in this bottle, and it's not just for me wearing it. I've made decants for people, I've made atomizers, and I've even converted some of this over into a car air freshener. Louis Vuitton Lovers is a fragrance that's just as radiant as its name. With ginger, galbanum, and sandalwood, this one's fresh, green, woody, and uplifting. Someone recently asked me, was Louis Vuitton Lovers a winter fragrance? And in my opinion, I'm good to wear this one in any season for any occasion. Just adjust your sprays accordingly. I wear this one not just for the compliment factor, but to light up a room when I walk in it wearing this. Listen, these fragrances are dope, but they can be a little pricey. If you're on a budget, click here to see 10 cheap fragrances that get crazy compliments.